Hello everyone, DQ here, and today I have this Mottura Champions model CP6 Gold Series and this is yet another walk that actually has never been picked on camera before. I will show you the model in a moment, but it's very similar to the C55 with one key difference that it has one less element or changed element here on the tip on the key. The C55 has like a rolling interactive. This one doesn't have interactive element on the key. And yeah, we can see no bump picking, no tracing, whatever that means, I have no idea. Yeah, it's the Gold Series. So yeah, let's unbox it, check out what it's all about. So yeah, here we have the walk in question. Beautiful double Euro cylinder. Here we have the mounting screw, we don't need that. So let's get it out of the way. Here we have the certificate, some instructions, how to use the wok, how to mount it, and yeah, you can pause and read if you want. I won't do it. So here we have the keys, with the key card, and we have 3 keys with different colors, which is cool. And yeah, this beautiful CP6, very nice. So difference I talked about is that the C55 has like a rolling interactive piece here on the key. This one has just the rotors, this like the mathematical symbols. And yeah, we have also 6 main stack pins, 2 of which are max lifts, and this one 3 is very low, which is pretty cool. And yeah, once again, since I don't have tools to cut double Euro walks, I'll simply cut it here, and we will get it, and I will show you the insides, and then I'm going to pick it. And yeah, that's the introduction. Let's show the internals now. Alright, so here we have the internals of the wok. Note that how I do my videos is that I actually first pick the wok, and after it's picked and gutted, I do this part and then I edit it. So you first see the introduction, then you see the guts, and then you see the pick, but I picked it before recording this part. So everything here is gutted. You can see that we have 5 pins on the main stack. We have 2 standard pins and 3 spools, 1 brass one. I'm not sure why it's brass, but anyways, we have 2 torpedo key pins, one especially on the wall lift, which can cause some issues. Let's imagine this, we're looking at like that. So the main stack pins go here. On this side we have 5 holes for these passive key control pins that correspond with this side bitting of the key. But if you take a closer look, you see that they are actually perfectly aligned with the main stack pins. And what that means is, once you pick the lock and you rotate it like this, the drivers will shoot inside and will push those passive pins, and they will become active. So if you want to do full 360, basically to unlock the lock, you will have to, once you get in this position, you get stuck and you have to push them out of the way to continue the rotation. The secondary locking mechanism consists of 3 rotors which interact with the sidebar, which is positioned here, and one passive again key control pin. It basically checks if you have the correct shape here. It can be plus, minus, like the mathematics symbols. This one is like a division symbol, I believe. And if it's incorrect, it will get pushed out and basically block the rotation by extending into this groove here on the housing, on the top groove. Also, once you do 360 and the lock comes to this position like that, the first driver will push this again and it will lock the rotation of the core. As you can see, the driver can go inside of this hole. This is intentional. So you have to actually, when you pick the main stack and the rotors, you will get locked 2 more times for you to do 360. So you have to one time pick those and one time pick that passive. So all of these passive elements on this walk become active at some point. So keep that in mind. That's very clever engineering. And I'm actually very impressed by this walk. It's very good. We do have some drill protection. We have some holes for construction keying, I believe it is, but I'm not really sure. And we also have the anti-snap feature, which is pretty nice. Anti-drill here and here as well. Groove for the sidebar and groove for the passive pins, which if you don't have those cuts here, the key will push them out too far and it will block the rotation of the core again. Another thing I want to talk about, because the main stack is not that hard, but the main difficulty of this walk comes with the sidebar. Sidebar has two tiny springs and the sidebar groove that I showed you, and all that interacts, as you can see, with those teeth here. They want to go inside of the rotors. So basically they want to become like that. This sidebar has grooves for 4 rotors, but here we have 3 active ones. That's, I believe, just a way to make manufacturing easier. But you can see the true gate wants to go like this. Then the sidebar can sink in and allow the rotation of the core. Each slider has one longer and one shorter teeth, and also has one true gate and one false gate next to it. Hope you can see it. True gate on the left, false gate on the right. And each one of them has one true and one false gate. They are shallow, but they bite. The sliders, rotors, correspond to this two deepness slider track. Basically, one side is the longer, the deeper slider track, and the shorter goes in the shorter slider track. Here we have this division symbol that I explained, and we have the 5 main stack pins with the 5 passive side pins which become active. And something that I believe happens here is that this walk has the same core as the Mottura C55, and the C55 basically is exactly the same walk but has one additional pin on the 6th position, and as you can see we have even drilled place for this interactive pin and drilled driver chamber, which is not populated in this walk. It has just 5 pins but has 6 chambers. And basically the C55 key has like a ring here which gets pushed by a piece of wording, I believe, or no, actually by a spring-loaded pin which goes here, and it pushes the interactive of the key, setting this pin which is a little bit off-centered. And yeah, basically this walk is C55 without the interactive element on the key, making it just a tiny bit easier because the interactive pins is basically just a standard pin that you need to set. So I believe in difficulty level this walk is exactly the same as that one. Just one pin, which is standard, doesn't add any difficulty according to me and in my experience. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the internals. So picking this walk goes as follows. Because it's a quite wide open keyway, I will tension like this. You want a tensioner that will be able to counter rotate, because once you pick the main stack, you get into a false set. Then you have to pick out the spools from the false set, and once you do that, you get into even deeper false set. Then you have to basically manipulate the rotors. That's done by jiggle testing again. A rotor that is in a true gate will have a little bit of movement, like tiny bit of movement. You can move it left, right. But a rotor that's binding will be stiff, and what you need to do is counter rotate, push the rotor just a little and apply tension again. Then test it. If it's still stiff, counter rotate more, move it even more to the left or to the right, then apply tension again and test it. If it's moving, then it's probably set and you have to go to the other rotor. And you basically repeat that until you get the lock open. Picks I used were this flag from Mo and this tiny Dongshi flag, which I filed I used it for the rotors because it's pretty comfortable. And as I explained, once you pick the lock and you want to do 360, from this section you have to push out the drivers, which will pop out. Then here the passive minus division symbol will pop in because the driver will push it. You need to set it while applying tension, and then when you come to here, the passive side pins will become active and you have to push them out again to do the full 360, and you have the lock picked and a lock. And yeah, I hope you understand the mechanism better now, and let's get to the picking section of the video. Okay, Mottura Champions model CP6 is in the vase. It works. So let's try to pick it. Starting at the back. Click from the last pin. Now number 1 is binding. Okay, and we have a full set. Now it's time to pick the spools, which are on position 2 and 4. Okay, I will try with the other flag. It is a very high lift. It's still not set. It gives counter rotation. Okay, now I set it. And now I have to manipulate the rotors. So I will do this with the tiny flag. Starting at the back. counter rotating to move the rotor. On, inspect, okay. Very nice. Now what I want to do is actually do a full 360. So to do this, I will walk the keyway here. Probably have to push the interactive here. Yeah. So the passive interactive works right here. When you do 360, you have to push it to continue. And now, as you heard, the passive pins actually locked. So I have to pick those now to do the full 360, which, excuse me for that, I will definitely do. So now I will use a hook. See what's binding. And we have it, full 360 Mottura Champions CP number 6, CP6 picked. Yeah, that's awesome. This is the public first pick, so I have to get the lock to show you that it's all intact. So let's do that now. Remove the C-clip. And now comes the scary part. Sorry for the delay, I was looking for my shims because I've never gotten this one before and it could be dangerous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my shim right here. Yeah, that would be nice. And see if my forward will work. And I have to now catch several elements. Okay, that was the scariest part. We have this, we have this. Okay, so I will first, whoops, I will first start dropping stuff. So I have this, which I have to figure out from where it came. Probably from here. Okay, so we have one rotor which fell off. I will actually remove the sidebar. here. This is probably the element from here. I will place it like that. Let's take out the rotors. We have 3 rotors. Here the pin that fell out, and this pin is probably from here, maybe, not really sure. Yeah, it's from here. Okay, so we don't have pin here. Okay, no worries. This one is even from here, so the ones that fell out are from the passive side, so I don't have to actually worry. Okay, let's now actually dump them out since they want to come. Here is the first passive, second passive, third, fourth, fifth. So I'm going to arrange them quickly and continue with the gutting. Now the main stack pins, oops, I will simply place them here. And this one has 5 pins. And here is the plug. We're going to take a look at it in a moment. Let's take out the drivers. Second one is a spool, as I expected, because I felt the counter rotation. Fourth is a brass spool, which is interesting. Okay, so we have the wok fully gutted now. I will actually do you a favor and place this white piece of paper here so we can see the pins better. And here is the passive interactive, which is not actually interactive, but yeah. So yeah, let's quickly summarize the wok. We have the 5 main stack pins, and I believe this model uses the same core as the C55, which has interactive element here, which is simply not present in this wok, but you can see it's drilled. So we have 5 chambers. On the top we have 6 holes, as you can see on the housing itself, but only 5 of them were populated. So I believe this one is just, they do the same core for the C55. And here we can see the groove for the passive element, which, if that's in correct shape, it will stick out of the core and block the rotation in this groove. Here on this side we have the groove for the passive key pins, which you saw once you turn the wok 180. 360, I mean, when you want to do 360 and they come here, the drivers actually push them in and you have to pick them, push them out of the way to do the full rotation. Same thing happens with this element when it passes around and goes to the first driver. The first driver pushes it in and you have to press it. Here is the groove for the sidebar. The sidebar which interacts with the rotors. Here is the sidebar itself. And basically what it does is it goes inside of those tiny rotors which also have like false gate. It's super tiny, but not sure if you can see it right here. And this is the true gate. And yeah, we have some drill protection. We have, I believe this is for construction king. We have those all those grooves, and I like how everything is aligned, so the wok rewalks itself 2 times when you pick it. Then you have to push some elements, which adds additional confusion, and if you don't know about this, you may get stuck. And yeah, we have the drill protection, we have drill protection here, anti-snap feature, of course, to be extra reliable. And yeah, I showed you the interactive, I showed you the rotors, passive key pins, key control pins that become active, and the main stack with some beautiful torpedo key pins and spool action, which gives pretty deep faucets. Here is like, let me show you. Once again, they all have true gate and false gates. Sidebar with 2 springs, very tiny springs. A passive element that becomes active, as I explained and show you. And the other passive key pins, side pins. So yeah, this is the Mottura Champions CP6 public first pick. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice day and bye bye.